Francisco 49ers deep in the heart. Like Joe Montana in the corner, D. Clark. Garrison Hurst, stiff farm going 99.
This is the 49er Faithful UK show, and that was week 13. The Niners come away from Cleveland with the win, an event that has not happened since 1984. While the snow didn't arrive, the Niners did bring the heat on defense, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, on special teams. The 26-8 road win means the Niners keep hold of an NFC wildcard spot and can finally rest up on the Week 14 bye. I'm Gareth Lee, and I'm joined by the one, the only Lee Gowland. Hello, mate.
Victory Monday, baby. Victory Monday.
Well, the good thing about bye week is we get like it's victory fortnight, basically, isn't it? So
it is, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And I tell you what, this bye week has been a long time in the making.
It has. Can't believe it. I think the NFL should condense them. I don't think the bye week should go past certainly about week 12. I think is at most. Put them all between week 6 and week 12.
Yeah. I don't know how they would do that, because then they would have those weeks where there's very few games played.
True, I suppose. Yeah, maybe a bit earlier, but it's all about money, isn't it?
So I think it's luck of the draw. In this year, we didn't get the luck of the draw as far as the bye week is concerned. But when you look at our schedule, I mean, we can't really complain, can we?
We can't.
Other than the fact that we've been decimated by injuries.
True. But we do have the bye week coming up before certainly 3 of the toughest games we're likely to have all season, right at the back end. So it's kind of nice to have the bye. I was thinking you've just got to do with the bye week the best that you can. It's making it work whenever it is. Yeah,
that's right. And I mean, you talk about those 3 games, it's going to be the final 3 games. So we've got a nice little warm-up against the Titans before we get into those games. So you're right. I think it's probably come at the right time. And I'll go back to what I always say.
Go on.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Yeah. So I think it's come at the right time for us.
It's after Thanksgiving. The NFL season has actually now started. All the rest of it was just the pre-season, so it starts from now. It is good to see you, Lee, and you have made it back from the Sheffield watch party, but it looks like you must have abandoned Paul there since he's not been able to make it on the show. Is that true, or is that just a rumour?
It is true. I had to kick both Paul and Connor out somewhere on the M25.
Yeah. So he's still walking. Yeah. M25, that's a hell of a detour.
M18 even. M18. Yeah, I was going the wrong way.
Anyway, we will talk about that a little bit later. Let's have the small matter of a game and a win in Cleveland. I quite enjoyed that game.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed that game. I hadn't realised it was 41 years since we won there. I thought it was 31. I thought it was 94, not 84.
No.
So yeah, that is a long, long time to go without a win. And if I'm honest, I did have me doubts. Had it been a bad weather game, I thought we might have struggled. So I think we've been lucky in the fact the weather was okay, but I think the performance deserved the win.
Absolutely. So you've got I think you've got 3 talking points because there are only the 2 of us.
Yeah, I've done some of that stuff that both you and Paul do. What? I think you call it preparation.
No, that's slander.
Amazing,
that's
isn't
slander. I know Paul does it, but...
Yeah, turn up to a watch party, stay sober, and then the next day I do some preparation before we jump on the show. It's incredible. So yeah, I've got 3 talking points. The first one is a special performance.
Ooh.
No prizes for guessing what that is. The second one is Brock bounces back.
Yeah.
And the third one is 49ers are contenders. That's no joke.
Contenders. Yeah.
That's
good.
No joke.
Excellent. I do like a pun. There we go, and I shall make a note of that. I've got nice.
How about yourself?
Only 2 things. Slightly related pun. Less tackling, more returns.
Yeah, fair enough.
But there we go. There's only one place to start. It's special teams then. Hence my more returns.
It has to be special teams.
I've been mulling a Sky or a more pun all day, but that was the one I've come up with. Go on.
Right? I mean, honestly, the special teams, it's the one we say every week. We do not want to be talking about special teams again. We finally get to a week where we want to talk about special teams. And I'm glad you mentioned Sky
They
Moore.
won us the game.
Sky Moore, he is absolutely rapid over the first 10 yards. And then it's like he gets stuck in quicksand. I think he needs to work on his stamina a bit. And I think that's unfair considering the impact he had on the game yesterday. But what I did notice, not just yesterday's game, but in previous games, he doesn't seem to be able to maintain that speed throughout the run. He seems to slow down quite quickly, which is unfortunate because, I mean, he could have had two touchdown returns in the last 2 games. But he's just not that quick once he gets over a certain yardage. But yeah, I mean, he was game changer for us. Special teams was a game changer for us.
Totally.
And we've been crying out for this all season long.
For
All
5,
season long,
6
it's either
seasons.
been, we've been good on offense or good on defense, but consistently crap on special teams. And I think last night, all 3 phases, we played well. We came out there and we put a performance in. And yeah, I mean, hats off to, what you call him? The new special teams coach, Boyer. Can't remember his first name. Is it Nick? Nick Boyer? Something like that. The one that we got from the Jets. Yeah, so he seems to have finally have turned the corner with the team. He's got them tackling well. Sky Moore, he's finding those lanes on the returns. He's dangerous, and you can see teams will start and try and do something different on the kickoffs, knowing that Sky Moore could potentially take it back to the house. So it's good to see that from the special teams, because I think that also takes the pressure off the other 2 phases a little bit. So it takes the pressure off the defense and the offense a little bit, knowing fine well that potentially on special teams, 1, we're not going to completely screw it up like we have been doing for the past few seasons, and 2, we might actually get points from our special teams.
Well, fingers crossed.
I'm over the moon.
Yeah,
I'm over the moon with what I saw last night.
I thought we were going to get it. It's been slowly getting better. Obviously, I think Sky Moore had that big 98-yard kick return, didn't he? Didn't quite manage to make it into the end zone. And again, I think maybe you just have that trade-off of you lose that little bit of stamina in exchange for that fast start, that explosiveness. That's what you need to get past the first line of gunners who are coming after you. Disappointed he wasn't able to get there. Let's just say perhaps it's heavy legs and cold air maybe didn't help him on that particular kickoff return. But it's so important because it makes the difference in these tight games. I think it makes a difference in when you get those either messy games or poor weather games. Special teams is often something that you win or lose the game by, and it won us the game. We weren't able to move the ball other than on that kick return. That got us going. I think it fires up the team. Obviously, our fumble recovery was perhaps more on a bad play of the Browns guy, but you've still got to be there. You've still got to be Johnny on the spot, right on top of him to make sure that you can hoover up any of those balls. I did notice from watching the highlights earlier, he'd had that little fumble earlier in the game where he basically the ball just dropped out and he was able to drop right on it. You do wonder if that's in his mind when he spilled the other one, because that's those are the sort of things that can just get you a little bit rattled. Just that little bit out of your comfort zone, and before you know it, takes his eyes off the ball, and we've got it back on like the 17 or whatever it was on a day when it's difficult to move it.
Yeah, and I mean, I would love to know what was going through his mind after he left the locker room after the game had finished, because I would have loved to have been a fly in that locker room. I think they'd have torn strips off him, because he did. I'm not going to say he lost the game for the Browns, because I think we would have won regardless. It'd have been a lot tighter, more towards the scorelines that we all went for, because we all went for quite a tight game. But he just made it that little bit easier for us. And like you said, I mean, we did struggle to move the ball at times, but then we did also have some good drives where we did get some momentum going down. But yeah, I mean, it helps so much when these special teams can pull you out and give you a short yardage to work with. It just makes it so much easier. And let's not forget, I mean, we were going up against the number one defence here. That defence was just absolutely laden with talent. We said it on the preview show. I could probably pick 5 players I'd have off their defence to start in our defence. That's how good they are. Yeah,
at least.
Yeah,
that might transition us away from special teams into maybe talking about what you wanted to say about Brock. But before we leave special teams, special mention for Matt Gay. I think they're making all 4 of his kicks in that weather. And let's face it, as long as they go in, it doesn't matter if they rattle the post on the way, does it?
Yeah, that had us all very nervous down in Sheffield at Hickories. Yeah. Until the officials put their hands up, none of us were sure whether or not it bounced in front of the post or behind the post.
You can never tell.
Had us a little bit nervous. I saw a really good stat tonight that the only kicker that has missed a kick for the 49ers this year is still Jake Moody.
Really? No, Pinheiro's
released him on, what was it?
Oh, field goal.
Field goal.
Pinheiro's missed a couple of extra points. Well, he had one blocked.
Yeah, extra points. So. Yeah, but he hasn't missed any field goals.
Wow.
And when did he release Moody? Week 4?
Not even that. Was it week 3? Well,
it was that early.
It was early in the season, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
It was early.
So yeah, I mean, Brock has bounced back there. He went into this game obviously going up against an elite defense. It was always going to be a tough game. We thought it was going to be tougher, but the weather didn't materialise, or at least the worst part of the weather did materialise. I can't remember if I saw it raining at all. I don't think it did. I think it rained before the game. There was no snow, but you could see it was breezy. Yeah, the wind got up a bit, and you could see that affecting
You're from the north, so you'd call it breezy as opposed to...
Yeah, it's breezy.
Horrific and howling. A slight, any normal person would
it's like a slight summer breeze. But yeah, I mean, he had those to contend with, and everybody turns on and knows that Brock is not that great in the weather conditions. Well, I think he did really well. I mean,
is that true?
Well, potentially
it's one of those things that hangs around, doesn't it? You have one bad game in poor weather, and that's it. You'll have it forever, regardless of this performance.
I think he's had more than one bad game, though. I think he's had a couple of bad games in bad weather. But you're right. It's going to stick with him for the rest of his career. People are going to label him as a quarterback that can't play in bad weather. And I thought he threw the ball quite well last night.
Yeah, very well.
What I thought he did better was escaping the pressure.
Totally.
He frustrated Garrett for pretty much the entire game. I mean, Garrett was laughing at him when he managed to throw the ball away before he got sacked. So obviously he didn't get sacked. I didn't hear what they said between them. I think there's a clip on the internet somewhere where you can hear what they were saying to each other, but the pair of them were laughing about it. And I thought that was great because he's using his legs again. And I always said, because of the layoff that Brock's had, it's going to take him 2-3 games to get up to game speed.
Totally.
And I think what we saw last night, weather aside, because you can understand where some of these balls are coming out a little bit, or it looks a little bit bubbly in the air. That aside, I thought he did really well. He did well evading the pressure. He did well keeping his eyes down the field, and he did well at helping his receivers get open when we could get open. And again, I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to keep on saying it. We played against an elite defense. So to have your wide receivers and your tight ends getting open against that defense, that there is testament to Brock giving them time to do that. And I thought he had an excellent game. I thought it was an underrated game as well, because nobody's talking about Brock. They're all talking about special teams, and they're all talking about the defense.
Us included, other than you, who brought up the Brock Purdy talking point. So I totally agree. I think his decision making was excellent in that game, and you can look at the raw stats where I think it was under 60% completion, but that's just because he was making the right decision to throw the ball away under extreme pressure and not try and force it. And then the passes that he did make, obviously the deep one to Kittle is as good as a pass as you'll see on a still calm, sunny California afternoon, let alone in the wilds of Cleveland. And I think the other one where Kittle had to go up and get it down by the goal line, that was phenomenal. I was should have mentioned Kittle, perhaps, because I thought he's been having a great game week after week since he's come back from injury. Not necessarily fantastic on the stats, but he's just making all these important catches. And Brock knows that he can go and put the ball up, and Kittle will go and get it. He's so reliable. But yeah, this is about Purdy. It's his escapability was something that I think we'd always seen, his mobility, and it's incredibly underrated part of his game. And I think he just showed that. I think the O-line did okay up against an absolutely ferocious pass rush, but that shows what Purdy can do in terms of just not taking the negative plays in that sort of game. And that's what I think his decision making was excellent. It's unhurried. He doesn't seem too fussed at facing down that much pressure and coming away with no turnovers, no real negative plays. Sometimes you've just got to throw the ball away and live to fight another set of downs, don't you? So, excellent performance.
Yeah, completely agree. And obviously, he helped the defense out as well because he wasn't taking those negative plays. He wasn't making it worse on the offense by getting sacked and getting pushed back, getting really long in third downs. Instead, he was doing the right thing, throw the ball away, and let's just try and deal with what we've got, with the yardage we've got. So I think that helped the defense, because had he not done that, it could have tipped the balance in the favour of the Browns, because our defense would have been on the field a lot more. They're getting tired a lot quicker. And then even though the Browns offense is a bit of a joke, I think they could have punished us that way, because they did quite well on the floor, rushing the ball. I think it was 130, 140 yards for the team rushing. So they did quite well rushing the ball through the air. I mean, it was comparable with what we did. I think they may have gotten 10, 15 more yards than what we did. Sanders' completion percentage was a little bit higher than what Brock's was.
Some garbage yards there late in the game.
Yeah, it was towards the end as well. Yeah, so Brock not only had an impact on the offense, but he had an impact on the defense, keeping us fresh, allowing us to put the pressure onto the Browns offense. So, and again, I think that's the type of thing that you don't see in a stat line, because there isn't a stat line for it. You only notice it if you actually watch the game. If he's evading the pressure, he is making it easy on the defense, because we've got another opportunity to move down the field, move the chains, keep the defense off the field, give them a rest, so that when they do come on, they can play at 100% capacity.
I think it's you've got to recover, but suddenly you think sitting in that cold weather on the sideline as well, you've got to think that's not great for having a rest. Sometimes you think it might be better to have them up and moving about, but there we go. Well, I am not a sports scientist.
Yeah, they do have the heaters there.
True.
Blaring
and a big. I want one of those big coats as well.
Yeah.
It would. I could live in that, I should think. But there we go. Yeah, a good and I think underrated performance from Brock Purdy. And I think you can tell why, because the usual detractors are just talking about other games because they wanted to have a go at how feeble Brock Purdy was in the bad weather and just haven't been able to. So good performance.
Being nice and quiet.
I was concerned in the first half, less tackling, and that's just the amount of missed tackles we still seem to be getting. It's cold weather, I know that, but we seem to be doing well. Sometimes we're getting in the backfield, we're reading the plays well, and we're just not stopping ball carriers on the first contact, or sometimes the second or even third contact. It's not so much whiffs, it's just not being able to get people enough of runners to bring them down, and it's been something all season. We've got to tighten that up, because the guys are in the place to make the plays, and they're not getting there.
Yeah, and again, I mean, this seems to be a problem with the 49er teams as well. I think once in a while we'll have a season where we wrap up the tackler, or we wrap up the runner, the wide receiver quite well. But for the last couple of seasons, you're right, we don't seem to be able to wrap up the tackles properly. We seem to be left dangling, like I said, 2-3 people trying to tackle, and they're just going through. It's like a dose of salt. And it's basic things like that. That to me, I'm not worried about it. This is Salah's first season back again. Hopefully, because we saw this in Salah's first term as well. I remember going through a stage where we were missing tackles week in, week out. And it got to a point where I don't know what happened in the locker room, but it was obviously dealt with because they come out the next week and they were absolutely on fire. They were getting every single tackle. Now, we've got a fortnight to get over that, and I'm sure they'll go back, they'll look at the tape, and they'll look at all those missed tackles. They'll have a look at the rest of the schedule we've got, and they'll draw a line in the sand and say, when we go up against this Titans team in 2 weeks' time, I don't want to see a single missed tackle. We need to work on that in practice. We need to nail it before we come up to the 3 most important games of our season.
Because it's difficult to judge in the poor weather against a rookie quarterback in his second start, and it's the Browns' offense, but the defense we're well organised, and I mean we're looking like an average defense, and given the amount of players we're missing, the job Salah has done is really quite phenomenal with signing a couple of guys off the street. I've got a note there for Pharrell. He's joint leading sack on the season now, and he only joined in week 9. Great, he's putting the performances in. I thought my boy D Winters had a good game. Upton Stout, you want to talk about that, Lee?
Yeah,
while we're talking D.
Yeah, I mean he continues to impress. I was sat there yesterday with Neil Grimm. We were talking about Upton Stout, saying at the start of the season we both thought he was a little bit handsy. He would miss a tackle or two. He was a little bit rash, but he does continue to impress week in, week out. And for a rookie, he is starting to mature. And hopefully by the end of the season, we almost have like a finished article as far as like his rookie season's concerned. He's getting some of these stupid tackling mistakes out. He keeps his hands off the receiver because he is very impressive. I mean, he's getting tackles behind the line of scrimmage. He had a tackle for a loss in last night's game. He's had an interception. He's had an interception that wasn't called an interception. I think he's been a very good pickup for where we got him in the draft, and he does continue to impress me. I'm glad he's my player watch player, because as soon as I saw him on tape after the draft pick, I thought this guy's going to be good, and I've been impressed with him.
Mustafa again seemed to be around the ball quite a lot. He's throwing himself around. He always seems to catch the eye. I thought Alfred Collins as well. He seems to make some plays along that line. We're getting better on the defense. We really are. And I mean, whether it's going to be enough this year, let's see how it plays out. But I mean, it's got to be good for next year with suddenly adding Bosa and Warner back to this group, along with the obligatory first round defensive lineman that we will undoubtedly pick.
And Michael Williams as well. Yeah. So one name that you missed off there, and I'm quite surprised you missed that one off. Yes, Keon White.
I didn't miss off.
1 sack, 3 tackles, 2 pressures, 2 tackles for a loss. He is coming on leaps and bounds as well. And like you said, it's all these what we would have thought were just going to be bit part players who've had to step up because of injuries.
Well, we've signed these guys.
Who are now starting to find some form that they're playing regular week in, week out. They know the system now. They know how Salah wants them to play the game. I think it's looking good. And you're saying we're not quite there yet, but this is going to lead into my third talking point.
Oh, seamless.
Seamless. So the 49ers are contenders, and that's no joke. It's no joke.
It's not.
And we may not be firing on all cylinders, but I'll tell you what, Gareth, neither is anybody else in the league.
No,
not
absolutely.
a single team is firing on all cylinders. So at the moment, we are just as likely as anybody else to go all the way and do this. And because of the schedule we've got, well, it is. But I mean, at the moment, our playoff probability is 92%. I think we nailed on for the playoffs. We go on there. We're actually only 1 game out of the number 1 seed. It's actually half a game because of the way they do the games. It's half a game out of the 1 seed. The last 3 out of 4 games, we're going to be at Levi's. The road game is against the Colts team, who did start very well, but Daniel Jones has got a fractured leg.
Who is he?
He's not going to be playing. Yeah,
Oh,
he's got a
really? No,
fractured leg.
I didn't pick up on that. I
Yeah.
saw Sauce Gardner had gone out of the game, but I think
No, so
that didn't
Daniel Jones
turn out to
is
be
not
too
playing at
serious.
quarterback for the Colts. He's got a fractured leg. He's
So
got a
is
fracture in his
Anthony
leg.
Richardson.
Fibula, I think. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I didn't
So,
pick up on that.
yeah, that was a game I was worried about. I'm not that worried about it now. It'll still be a tough game. Don't get us
We
wrong,
need.
because we have to go on the road, but it's also in a dome. It's also in a dome.
Yeah.
So there's going to be no weather problems. It's going to come down to who wants it more. And then you look at the other games we've got. The Titans. Come on. Let's get carried away. We should beat the Titans.
We should beat the Titans.
We've got to beat the Titans.
If we can win 2 of the
Everybody
last
should beat the
4,
Titans.
we should make the playoffs. I think 1 of the last 4 is not going to be enough, but I think 2 of the last 4, 11 wins, should do it, I think. But I'm not sure that 10 will.
Let's put it this way. We've got 4 games left. If we win all 4 games and the Seahawks beat the Rams, we number 1 seed. Simple as that. We are number 1 seed if the Seahawks beat the Rams and we win out. Because we, at the moment, we've got by far the best divisional record of the top 7 teams in the NFC. We've got by far the best conference record of the top 7 seeds in the NFC. So if we can win out, we are number 1 seed.
Wow.
All roads lead to Levi's. Like I said, let's get carried away, man.
Well,
let's
why
get
not?
Carried away.
We'll enjoy it. It is
the
time for
wide
good cheer.
open.
It is. It's a funny old season, and nobody is looking invincible at all. Everybody looks like they've got a weakness, and everybody looks like they've got one of those shockers in them.
I mean, if you go on to Discord and have a look at the Pick'em thread, the Pick'em channel on Saturday morning after the 4th of the Thanksgiving games had been played, and everybody was posted, I can't believe it, I'm 0-4 on the first 4 games. Everybody was 0-4. Nobody picked any of those teams to win. It was such a shock. And it can go either way. So I think if we can keep this up, the rumours I've heard about Fred Warner, it looks as though he is going to be available sometime in the playoffs. Really? I always thought it was probably going to be the NFC Championship game, but apparently the progress he's making, he could be back for the divisional or even the wild card games. Not that we're going to be in the wild card because we're going to be number 1 seed.
Of course.
So we'll have another bye week. Yeah. But yeah, let's get carried away. We can do this. I truly believe we can do this. I think on defense, we're going to continue to get better all the time.
Definitely.
Salah is an absolutely amazing coach. And it's all these bit part players who are now playing regular. I think they'll start and actually hit their ceilings. The likes of Clellan Ferrell. He was a first round pick. I remember when, I think he went the same, did he go on the same draft as Bosa?
Possibly, yeah. He went to the Raiders, didn't he? Early top 10-ish.
Yeah. I think he was number 4. I think he was number 4. But yeah, I mean, he number 4. Actually, I think he was number 22, something like that. He went the first round. We'll leave it at that. He went the first round. But yeah, I mean, he's a first round talent, and he is starting to play like a first round talent. Bryce Huff has been playing well.
And I think
Alfred Collins.
He's been carrying the load. I think obviously Huff came expecting Bosa was going to get the attention and Huff would be able to mop up. But now Huff is getting all the attention, and that's the job he's got to do for the team. He's just got to soak up the double teams and make the space for the others, and he's doing it. It's not necessarily what he expected, but he's the next man up, isn't he? So good performance. They're all putting in a good shift.
They all are. I can't pick out any player who I took issue with at all in last night's game, because it was always going to be a hard game. I think they did well to play it in that weather. Obviously, the cold, the wind. Luckily enough, it wasn't snowing, and I think they all did well. And the defense stood up to be counted. Yes, they had missed tackles, but the coverage was good. The pressure rates were good. Getting to the quarterback, it was good. We hurried him. And we just looked, we looked like a team who were on a mission, a team that were playing for each other. And I just can't wait for the rest of the season. That honestly, last night's game, that has got me so invigorated for the playoffs. I just can't wait. Because I do think if we come up against any team in the NFC at the moment, we could beat them. Nobody's going to want to play us. The only team I would worry about is not so much the team, but the venue would be having to go on the road to the Eagles.
Yeah.
Even though I think the Eagles at the moment are a pretty poor team.
They've turned, well, those fans, they turn on their own team pretty quickly, don't they?
Yeah.
So you can go in there, have a good first quarter, and then see what the home field advantage looks like.
Yeah.
As it stands, of course, I wouldn't like to be going to the Bears in January.
Well, that's what I was just about to say.
Not so much again for the Bears.
Just about to say. Yeah, so with the Bears, I think it's more their offense than the defense. But I think they're very good on offense.
It's the weather that scares me.
Yeah. I mean, we have to play the Bears, but we play the Bears at Levi's.
Absolutely.
So if we, like I said, if we can win out, we are number 1 seed. So everybody has to come to Levi's, and I think that makes a huge difference as well. And I know Levi's Stadium isn't the type of stadium where I think the noise carries that much weight because of the design of the stadium. The noise just goes out the top of the stadium. It doesn't bounce down. But because of our fans and the fact that the vast majority of fans in there are going to be 49er fans, because that's what it's like when we go away anyway. I mean, Cleveland last night, the vast majority of jerseys in there were 49ers jerseys, which is understandable. Even though, believe it or not, the cheapest ticket you could get last night, because I checked an hour before the game started, was £4. You could buy a ticket for £4 to get in to see last night's game.
Well, it was
sideline tickets.
It was pretty empty.
It was. You could buy sideline tickets behind the 49ers bench for £23.
Wow.
Sideline tickets. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, and a little bit of extra spending money for your jackets, coats, hats, scarves. It did look cold. There we go. You got us all excitedly. I think that's good leading up to the bye week. I think we can enjoy that. We can see what games may or may not go our way, but I don't know that it really makes that much difference, other than we get that clearer picture when everybody's got the same number of games played, because you always have that kind of game in hand sort of thing at the moment where it's difficult to see quite what's going to happen, but we'll see when we're all evened out at the end of next week. Some score predictions. What happened? Did you pick up on the tackles for loss? How many did we get in the end? I think I was very over ambitious. 5.
There was 5, and that was the only points that the podcast faithfuls got, and they nailed 5.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
So at one point, Gareth, let me get this on the screen. It's a shame that we haven't got a graphic that shows you the point in time I was actually thinking of. That doesn't really make any difference, that what I'm doing there. At one point, you had an unassailable lead at the top of this table.
Surely not.
Yeah. I think you had a 9-point lead.
Surely the only thing I got is eventually when we were hanging around on 20 points, which is I think what I
yeah. So when we had 20 points,
predicted.
We also had 4 tackles for a loss. So you had 5 points for the tackles for a loss. You had 3 points for the tackles for a loss. You had 5 points for the 49ers score, and then another 2 points for
the Niners win.
The win. Yeah.
I was secretly hoping that there would be a garbage time touchdown for the Browns, obviously when the game felt won. But there we are. Well,
I'm not going to lie, so was I. But then I
so
thought,
was most
if
of
they get this touchdown, because I'd have gotten 2 points off that, 3 points off that. No, 2 points because I would have been within 3. But had they got that, I could guarantee you they would have went for 2 points. If they're getting that 2 points, you'd have gotten another 5 points because you'd have nailed the 16.
I'd have nailed the 16.
So I was quite happy actually to just sacrifice those 2 points just in case you got 5. Not that I'm competitive.
Not that you're competitive at all. I still wanted the kick to go through even at 23, knowing that
Yeah.
it would cost me. I still wanted the. I know what really matters. This is just a mere sideshow to the
The
actual.
prediction league is
Yeah.
what really matters.
No.
So for those of you that are listening, I will read through this. Save your embarrassment there, Gareth. Propping up the league on 33 points is Paul, quickly followed by myself on 35 points. The podcast faithfuls are a whopping 1 point ahead of me with 36, who are also joined on 36 points by Naji Karar. So there's only 3 points separates second place to fifth place. But out in the lead with a whopping 4 point lead is Gareth on 40 points. Well done, Gareth.
Yeah. Well, the pressure's on. See if I can maintain this. I've been at the top for 4 or 5 weeks now. It's uncharted
You
territory.
have, yes.
Yeah.
You have. You had that little burst just like I did. But my burst took us from the bottom to second and then back down to the second off bottom.
Well, there we are.
But
It's a funny
there's
old
plenty of
game.
football to go up. And obviously, we're going to the playoffs. We're going all the way to the Super Bowl. So we won't know until after the Super Bowl who wins.
Of course, there's still plenty of football left. Curse? What curse?
What curse indeed. So
Since Paul's
as
not
a
here,
few
I knew he would
natives,
say it.
yeah. So as a few of the native South Yorkshire clan pointed out last night, we are 3-0 in Sheffield meetups.
Well, that's pretty good.
So there's been there's been 3 unofficial meetups. They're all official, as Paul would point out. They're all official meetups. But yeah, that was the third one at Hickory's, and it was the third win. So yeah, there's no curse whatsoever.
Lucky charm.
It was a great venue. It was a great night. We may have been a little bit packed in the bar area, but to be honest, I think that was more by choice than anything else, because we did have some seating area around the corner in the main restaurant bit, but I think everybody wanted to be in the bar area, watching it in there. There was 2 big screens, one behind the bar and one in the actual bar area, so everybody had a good view. The venue were great. They gave us some free chicken wings, came in little buckets, put them on different tables. That was good. And they put on a really good show for us, and we enjoyed it. Obviously, we had some raffles there last night, some good prizes. Some prizes donated by 5-Star Imports, Neil Elliott. Thank you very much, Neil Elliott. That was a great top. I can't remember who won that, because there's, like I said, there's quite a few prizes, so there was a lot being won. We managed to raise just shy of £400 for, I think you call it the Prince of Wales Hospice Fund. So this was the hospice where Ruth Graham's sister spent her last few days, and they looked after her. So this was on behalf of Ruth. Thank you very much for everybody that bought tickets. Thank you to Jay Burgess and Jay Peplow for doing all the organisation. Obviously, thank you for both Neil and Ruth for allowing us to do this on their behalf. And obviously, thank you as well to Hickory's, who, like I said, were gracious hosts, and they've got absolutely fantastic food there as well. So yeah, great event. There was a lot of new faces, not
good.
new names, new faces. So I knew the names, but I'd never met them before. So I got an opportunity to meet quite a few people. Dave Jones, Simon Robson, Jade Dobson is 3 of the people I met. I had some good conversations with some of the South Yorkshire crew who are Sheffield United fans, who immediately turned around and said, "I'm not talking about the playoffs," meaning the Sunderland playoff final.
I got that.
So I had a good conversation with them about that, and it was great to meet up with everybody again. And as I mentioned before we went to the show, it was quite a change for me not to actually have a drink of alcohol, because I was driving down and driving back. So I could remember everything that went on, which is a bonus.
And remembering names, that is impressive. That's something I struggle with immensely on the meetups, meeting everybody. And it's not just the meetups; it's in general. It's there's not enough room for everything in there, so names fall straight out the other side. It sounded.
Yeah, I know
It looked
exactly what
like
you
a
mean.
good event. Good to see the photos, and good to see, the Hickory's absolutely round out with Niner Faithful. I'm hoping that obviously that will get round the Hickory's franchisees, because there is one not too far from me, in
Right.
Worcestershire, West Midlands. So maybe that might well be
So,
something for next year for me to think about. See if there's anybody in the West Mids area who might make it to Worcester or
right. So
elsewhere.
it is getting round the Hickory's
Good,
venues.
good.
So this week, in fact, tonight, I think it might be tonight, Hickory's opens up in the northeast of England, in a town called Thornaby. They have already reached out to Paul because they've been told about the 49 Faithful UK. And Paul's going to go in and have a conversation with them, and that potentially is going to be another venue in the northeast. So that's great for us. If you watch the socials for Hickory's, hopefully you will see us all on there singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Fantastic.
So they were having a sing-off with the Hickory's at Adele, which is where we went at the back end of October for the game against the Texans. And they asked us at the start of the game at half time, could we get everybody in a group and sing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, because we're competing against other Hickories, and it's going to go on the social media.
Fantastic.
So
I'm
keep
sure
an eye out for that.
Mr. Hope will be all over that, I hope.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
There we go. I think we've covered everything. There's nothing else to say, is there?
No, not at all. I mean, we've done
made it.
well. I mean, there's only two of us, and we're already over 40 minutes. Which I didn't expect
Exactly.
that, to be
Well,
fair.
we've made it through the first half of the season as well. Usually we have bye week a little bit earlier, don't we? Or we have recently, and we have that nice little gap
Yeah.
to get a breather. But we've slogged all the way through here. So imagine how happy everybody is over in Santa Clara now, packing their bags and hopefully putting their feet up or doing something fun for a couple of days. It's been well earned. Hopefully, we might do a show at some point later in the week. It is bye week, so things do tend to go a little bit funny because we don't have the usual preview show to do. So
Yeah.
we'll have a think about what we might cover and who's going to be free this week.
You never know. We might have some news to break. So, I mean,
Really?
I'm quite happy to tell anybody this now and put it out there as a public service announcement.
Go on then.
Tomorrow, both myself and Paul will be speaking to the 49ers about an official watch party for the playoffs. We're going to talk about what options are available. And this is not us going to the 49ers. This is the 49ers coming to us to say they want to talk to us. They want to explore some activation options for the playoffs. It might happen, it might not. They want our opinion. They want to know what's happened in the past, because obviously the team has changed slightly from the last time we're in the playoffs. So we're going to have a good talk about that, see what the options are available. And see which games they're going to target. Because in the past, it's only been the NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl. It could be different this year. Obviously, we'll find out. I think in previous years, it's been a case of let's keep our powder dry. The NFC Championship is a big enough game to do this on. Obviously, people are going to have to travel. Wherever we are, people's going to have to travel to somewhere. As with the other playoffs, and I haven't had this conversation with them yet, I would guess we're going to go to somewhere where we've got a good relationship with them, where we can do stuff at very, very short notice without any issues. So that could be one of two places. But you can kind of guess where it's probably going to lean to. But again, this is just me guessing.
We'll see.
Might not happen, but we will see.
And I think it will obviously depend on how the matches fall over the Super Wildcard weekend and the divisional rounds.
Yeah.
Whether we are obviously a 1 a.m. Monday morning game, the kind of late Sunday night slot is going to be a little more tricky.
Am I imagining this, or did one of the Super Wildcard games get played on either the Thursday night or the Friday night?
I think it did. The NFL, again, just trying to fill every day of the week with games, aren't they? And I think they spread it over 3 days. There may have even been 2 on a Friday, 2 on a Saturday, 2 on a Sunday, something like that.
Yeah, I think they'll let
Monday one.
the two seeds from either conference play on the Friday to technically give them an additional day to 2 days rest for the divisional games. If they won that game.
Yeah.
I think that was the thinking, to start them first, to give them just a little bit more time.
No, I think the thinking was, let's make more money.
Well, yeah. The thinking probably was
let's be honest.
Let's make as much money as possible.
Yeah. Anyway, we shall have to keep an eye on all of that, and obviously wait a few more weeks and see exactly where we are. But thanks for joining me, Lee. It's been good. Good to catch up. Thanks to everybody who listens and watches the show. It is bi-week. It's a no preview show. But yeah, we'll see if we can do something. The Rams lost. The Bears are number 1 seed, and it is the business end of the NFL season. So hold on to your bobble hats. It's going to be quite the ride, but we will be with you all of the way. Enjoy Victory Fortnight and go Niners.
Bang, bang, Niner can.
We love the San Francisco 49ers deep in the heart. Like Joe Montana in the corner, D. Clark. Garrison Hurst, stiff farm going 99.